Hello, my dear students, parents, and home tutors. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn how to convert units in metric system. So, have fun and learn mathematics in an easy way. Let's begin our lesson about the metric system by recalling its history. Based on our previous video tutorial, the metric system of measurement is in the phase 3. So our phase 1 is the primitive measurement, and the second phase is the English system of measurement, and it then evolved into metric system of measurement. The French originated the metric system of measurement, and it evolved, and it is now called the International System of Units and abbreviated as SI. It is pronounced as SI. This is an easier system since it is based on the decimal numbering system, and it is easier to convert because the conversion factors are always powers of 10. For example, the larger units are 10, 100, 1000 of the base unit. For example, the base unit of length is meters, so that's 10, 100, 1000 of the base unit. And for the smaller units, that's 1 over 10, 1 over 100, or 1 over 1000 of the base unit. Why do we need to learn conversions? Of course, it's very important in our day-to-day living, especially in trade and commerce. The metric system provides a universal language for measurement that can be understood regardless of where you are, or where you are from, or what language you speak, because this is used universally. So it is used all over the world. So this is now the units for metric system. So we have the prefixes, the milli, the centi, the deci, deca, hecto, and we have the kilo. So this root word here, meter, this is the standard or the base unit for length. So that's 1 meter, that's 10 to the power of 0. And if you'll multiply 10 to your base unit, it's 10 m, or 10 to the power of 1. That is decameter. So the prefix deca means 10. And then we have the hectometer. The prefix hecto means 100 times the base unit m. So that's 10 to the power of 2. And then we have kilo. So it means 1000 times the base unit. That's 10 to the power of 3. And then for the decimeter, that's deci, so that is 1 over 10, or 10 to the power of negative 1. Centi, that's 0.01 times the base unit, or 1 over 100. So that's equivalent to 10 to the power of negative 2. Milli means thousands, so that is 1 over 1000 of a meter, or 10 to the power of negative 3. Remember that our basic unit or base unit for length or distance is meter, and for volume, that is liter, and for weight, that is gram. That's for weight or for mass. Here is now the metric prefixes chart. So we have here the kilo means 1000, hecto means 100, deca means 10, and then we have here the meter, the gram, or the liter. These are the basic units. So meter for distance, gram for mass, and liter for volume. Deci means 1 over 10 or 0.1. Centi means 1 over 100. Milli means 1 over 1000 or 0.001. So to convert units higher than this basic unit, you will divide by 10. To convert units which is small, we can consider smaller units, we will multiply by 10. So we can convert units in metric system using the 7-column table. Let's now first familiarize the 7-column table. So we have here the first column, the second column, the third column, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So this column here with red borders will hold the basic unit. The basic unit for length or for distance is meter, so we will put meter here. And then for volume, the base unit is liters, so we can put liter here. And then the base unit for mass is gram. So this column with red borders, this is the place for the base unit. And the larger units like the kilogram, the decagram, the hectogram, we will put it to the left of the column with red borders. And for the units or smaller units like the decigram, centigram, milligram, we will put it to the right of the column with red borders. Now the base unit for distance in metric system is the meter. So for meter, we can use this unit for not too long or not too short distances. For example, we can use meter in measuring the height of the doors, the length and the width of the table. We can use also to measure the length of a corridor, the length and the width of a room, so we can use meter. Remember, the base unit for distance or for length is meter. So we will put it here in the column with red borders. So we have also another unit which is the kilometer. So for kilometer, this is a bigger unit. So we will put kilometer to the left of meter. So remember that the relationship between kilometers and meters, kilometers is, that's 1 equivalent to 1,000 meters. So that's 10 to the power of 3. So that's why we have this 1, 2, and 3. Another unit for distance is the millimeter. So the millimeter in relation to meter, that is just equal to 10 to the power of negative 3. So that's just equal to 1 over 1,000 of a meter. So that's 10 to the power of negative 3. So we'll have 1, 2, and 3. So I'll put millimeter here. We use millimeters for very small things like the thickness of a coin, the diameter of a screw. So this is opposite to kilometers. So kilometers are usually used for distances, far distances, like the distances of the cities. For example, the distance from Karkar City to Lapu-Lapu City, or the distances of the planets, like the distance from planet Earth to planet Mars, or the distance of the Sun and the planet Earth. So it should be in kilometers. While for some very small things like the thickness of a coin or the diameter of a screw, we use millimeters. We have also centimeters. Centi means that is 1 over 100 of a meter. So that is just equal to 10 to the power of -2. So we have 1 and then 2. So we'll place centimeters here. And for centimeters, this is used in measuring the width and the depth of a washing machine. For example, it could be in measuring the height of the table or the width of the table. You can use centimeters. Or for example, the width of a shelf. You can use also centimeters. So we have also decimeter. So decimeter in relation to meter, that is just equal to 1/10 of a meter. So we have 1/10, that is 10 to the power of 1. So we'll have only one movement. So we have here the place is decimeter. So we have now complete sets of units to the right. We have decimeter, centimeter, and millimeters. And to the right, we have decameter. And when we talk about decameter, the deca prefix means that is 10 or 10 to the power of 1. So that is, we'll move to the right. So that is decameter. And then we will move another one place, which is for hectometer. We say hecto means 100. So we'll have 100 times the meter. So that's 1, 2. So 10 to the power of 2 is just equal to 100. So the place for hectometer is this one. Then after that one is kilometer. So in relation to meters, that is just equal to 10 to the power of 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So we have now complete 7-column table. So we have here, the first is millimeter, followed by centimeter, followed by decimeter, meter, decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. Let's have the follow-up questions. We will answer this one together. How many columns do you need for the metric unit conversion table? Of course, it composed of 7 columns. Starting with the leftmost, so we have the first unit is millimeter, followed by centimeter, decimeter, then meter at the center, which is the basic unit for length. Then we have decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. So that composes the 7-column table. Another question, in the metric system, what is the basic unit for distance? The answer is meter. So that's why we will put meter at the center of the 7-column table, because that is the basic unit for distance. Another question, what other metric units for distance do you remember? We have millimeter, centimeter, then we have decimeter, then meter, decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. Another question, can you place them in the table? Of course, we can place it in a 7-column table, and it will give you an easier way in converting units of metric system. Using the 7-column table, in the next few slides, we're going to see how to use the 7-column table to convert between meters, kilometers, millimeters, and centimeters. We will start by writing the original measurement on the table, and then we will see how to convert it into the desired unit. Let's begin with the first illustrative example. We will use the 7-column table in converting 32 centimeters into millimeters. Our step 1, we write the original measurement into the table. So we have here the 7-column table. At the center is meter. And we have here kilometers, we have here centimeters, millimeters. So first is we will write the original measurement, which is 32 centimeters. So we have here 32 centimeters. And we're going to follow the step 2, put the decimal point to the right of the target unit. So our target unit is millimeters. So we will write, or we'll put the decimal point here. So our target is millimeters. So we have here the decimal point. And in step 3, fill in with the zeros as required. So we will add 0. So therefore, this 32 centimeters is just equivalent to 320 millimeters. Another examples. We have here the 7-column table. Remember, at the center is meter. Going to the right, we have here decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. And going to the left, we have this decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. So we'll write on the table the given 5 meters, 3 kilometers, 27 millimeters, and then we have 512 centimeters. So we have here, place the decimal point where your desired unit is. So for example, 5 meters, we'll convert it to kilometers. So we'll put decimal point here, and then we'll fill in the missing zeros. So that is, okay. So we'll go back here. So for 3 kilometers, we will convert it to meters. So we have here the decimal point. For 27 millimeters, we will convert it into centimeters. So we'll put it here. And for 512 centimeters, we'll convert it to meters. So we have here, the decimal point is here. So next is, we will fill in the gaps with zeros. So we have here, the equivalent is 0.005 kilometers. And for this one, we'll fill in the gaps with zeros. So 3 kilometers is just equal to 3,000 meters. And for this one, we have 2.7 centimeters. And for this one, it's 5.12 meters. Let's have now the metric units for weight. For weight, the base unit is, or the basic unit is gram. So we'll just replace it with the prefixes. For example, the decigram, the centigram, the milligram, and going to the left, we have the decagram, the hectogram, and the kilogram. Let's have now the metric units for weight or for mass. So the base unit or the basic unit for mass is gram. A more familiar unit for weight also for you is kilogram. So remember that kilo means that's 1,000. So in relation to gram, that is just equal to 10 to the power of positive 3. So we'll have 3 movements, 1, 2, and 3. So we have here a kilogram. So a kilogram is usually, this unit is used in a bag of sugar, which weighs 1 kilogram, a normal wash load, which is 1.5 kilogram. My weight is about 81 kilograms, for example. So to complete the 7-column table, so we have here at the center, we have grams. And going to the right, we have decigram, centigram, and milligram. And then going to the left, we have the decagram, the hectogram, and the kilogram. So we have here the place for decigram is this one, because in relation to gram, that is just equal to 1/10 of a gram. So that's 10 to the power of 1. So we'll move only one place. So we have here the decigram. And then followed by the centigram in relation to gram, that is just equal to 1/100 of a gram. So that is just equal to 10 to the power of -2. So we'll move two places, 1 and 2. So we have here the place for centigram. And we have also the milligram. For the milligram, in relation to grams, that is just equal to 1/1000 of a gram, or 10 to the power of -3. So meaning from grams, we will move 1, 2, and 3. So 3 places. So we have here the milligram, increasing, centigram, decigram, and then grams. And going to the left, we have the decagram. In relation to grams, that is just equal to 10 to the power of 1. So that's only one place. So we have here the decagram. And then followed by hecto, which is hecto means 100. So that's 100 of a gram. So 100 times the gram, so that's 10 to the power of 2. So we'll move two places, 1 and 2. So we have here the hectogram. And lastly, we have the kilogram, which is kilo means 1000 of a gram. So that is 1, 2, 3. So it's 1000. That's just equivalent to 10 to the power of 3. So we'll have 3 movements, 1, 2, and 3. So for milligram, this is usually used in measuring very small things. For example, usually when you read the packaging of the tablets, the amount of, for example, paracetamol in a tablet is measured in milligrams. For the metric units for capacity or for the volume, the basic unit is the liter or small letter L. So it should be at the center, or it should be written at the center of the 7-column table with the red borders. So we have the liter is used in, for example, measuring a large bottle of Coke, which contains 2 liters. The petrol tank of an average car holds 40 liters. So we have also different measurements in relation to our basic unit, which is liter. Of course, we have the kiloliter or kiloliters or KL, which are rarely used in everyday life. The capacity of a swimming pool could be measured in kiloliter, but is more commonly measured in thousands of liters instead. We have also the milliliters. For example, a teaspoon is about 5 ml or 5 milliliters. A can of Coke is about 330 milliliters. We have also centiliters. A bottle of wine is 75 centiliters. A drinking cup is about 20 centiliters. Let's have now the summary for metric units. So for the distance, or for the length, the base unit or the basic unit is meter. So we have here meter at the center or at the column with red borders. And to the right, we have the measurements or the units, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeters. And to the left, we have decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. For the mass, we have the basic unit, which is the gram, and we have the decigram, the centigram, and the milligram. And going to the left, we have decagram, hectogram, and kilogram. For the volume, or the capacity, we have the basic unit, which is the liter. And going to the right, we have the deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. And going to the left, we have the decaliter, hectoliter, and the kiloliter. So notice that we are just replacing its root word So we base our root word with the basic unit. And we have just the same prefixes. For example, here, deci. We have here deci. So decimeter, decigram, and deciliter. And remember that deci means it's just 1/10. 1/10, or that's just equal to 10 to the power of -1. Also here we have the centi, centi, centi. It differ only with the root word, that's centimeter, centigram, and centiliter. Okay, so let's have the conversion of metric units. Let's have the harder examples. For example, we are going to convert 3.2 kilograms into grams. So we have here, the given is in kilograms. So we have here, it's 3.2. So 3.2 kilograms, we will convert it to grams. So we have our step 2, put the decimal point to the right of the target unit. So our target unit is grams. So we'll put the decimal point to the right. So we have here, okay, we transfer the decimal point and then fill any gaps with zeros. So we'll have here the zeros. So therefore, it's just equivalent to 3,200 grams. So we have here the follow-up questions. In the metric system, what is the basic or the base unit for weight or for mass? The answer is, it's the gram. What other weight units can you remember? So remember, well, if we'll start with at the rightmost, we have the milligram, followed by the centigram, the decigram, and at the center, the gram, which is the base unit. And we have the decagram, the hectogram, and the kilogram. What is the base unit for the capacity or for the volume? We have the liter. What other units of capacity can you remember? We have, for the metric units, we have to the right, we have the milliliter, centiliter, we have the deciliter, and liter as the base unit, then decaliter, the hectoliter, and the kiloliter. We have here the harder examples. 0.5 meters. So we have here 0.5 meters, 3.5 kilograms. So I'll put it here. So 3.5 kilograms. And then we have 2.7 centiliters. And then 51.2 meters. So that is 51.2 meters. So you are going to move the decimal point. So our target is, we will convert 0.5 meters to centimeters. So we have here, we need to move this decimal point to centimeters. So we'll move it here. So that's it. And then for this one, 3.5 kilograms, our target is, we will convert it into milligrams. So we'll move it. So we have here, and then 2.7 centiliters, we'll move it to milliliters. So we have here, all right. And then 51.2 meters, we'll convert it to kilometers. So we'll move the decimal point. So we have it there. So what is now the answer? We'll fill any gaps with zeros. So we have here, the result is 50 centimeters. For this one, we'll fill in the gaps with zeros. So the answer here is 3,500,000. For this one, we have 27 ml or milliliters. For this one, we have 0.0512 kilometers.